Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the 14th episode of another Sports Court Talk podcast with your hosts, Michael Huddle and JC, a.k.a. Firestarter Breaks.
What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, Dommy. Happy Wednesday, Big John. And happy birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Long day, but can't complain. My phone is on silent.
How was your
trip? The trip from last week, I mean, that was just really long, man. It was a lot. A lot. You know what? I mean, the hardest part of that, I mean, you're working, 12, 14, maybe, 16 hours and stuff. But it's the hardest part is that you're working until 6, 7 o'clock. And then everybody's like, okay, hey, where you want to go to dinner? It's like, man, I'm not sure I want to go sit and maybe have dinner.
What's up, Logan?
What's up, Logan? It was funny, though. Friday night, the first Friday night we're there, we were all working, and it was our team. And there was two other teams. They're like, hey, we should all go out to dinner together. I said, okay. It's 6:45 on Friday night. There's 14 of us. We go, yeah, we're going to Longhorn. I go, I'm sorry, but I don't mind going to Longhorn, but I'm just curious. What makes you think at 6:45, by the time we get there, it's going to be 7, maybe 7, a little bit after 7, that Longhorn is going to have a table with 14 people, and we ain't getting out of there until 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was like, nah, you guys are crazy. So it was, like I said, that was really, that's really the worst part of it. The worst part of it is just, like I said, you work the long hour, and then, by the time you get back to a hotel room, it's 9 o'clock and everything, and you just sit down and just like, I just want to sit down. Because we spend most of the days on our feet and stuff. So, but anyway, enough of that. Watch any of the Olympics? You watch any of the hockey? You watch anything?
No.
No? You're not an Olympics. You're not an Olympics guy?
No.
I will tell you. I mean, the one sport that I really like watching that I get a chance to was speed skating, because I like that and everything. But man, I tell you, the curling, man, that's I know it seems boring as all heck and everything, but I mean, I tell you, it was pretty cool. WWE is shipping this time. What did you order?
That to be the Universe one.
Okay.
I think that's the first one out, and then the other one comes later.
And then the hockey. Man, you got to love the hockey.
Yeah.
Overtime, beating Canada. Oh, blasters. And, what's, what was it? What was amazing about it, is the Canadians talked about how great their team was, and, they have Cal McCarr, probably the best defenseman. And in the overtime, it's 3 on 3 on. Well, it's 4 on 4, 3 skaters and 1 defenseman. And the Canadian team rolls out there. Cal McCarr, the best defenseman in the game. Macklin Celebrini, probably the best young player in the game. Nathan McKinnon, who's leading the league in scoring, and Connor McDavid, who they call McJesus on skates, you know, and they're complaining. They put four of the best hockey players in the world on the ice at one time, but yet they're complaining about losing to the U.S. because 3-on-3 hockey stinks. Hey, you had the best guys out there. You should have won.
Yeah.
You got cocky. Figured, ha 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 ha. USA screwed you. Yeah, I mean, both games, USA Canada, men's and women's, gold medal game, both go to overtime, tied 1-1. Both US teams win 2-1.
Yep.
It was excellent, man. It was excellent. Baseball season is starting up. Starting to go ahead and pay a little more attention to that and stuff. It's going to be interesting to see. But right now, still a hard time, because you're still not getting, your final lineups and stuff like that being talked about,
Right. And most of your main players aren't even playing yet.
Yeah. And then it's going to be I did the vid of the men winter. Yep. PCA for MVP. I'm telling you, that Pete Crow Armstrong, that kid is he's going to be pretty damn good. I think it's going to be interesting. There's so many good young players, that are out there. When you look across the board and everything, and it's funny, you even have to include a guy like Soto in there because people, it's Soto. He's been around forever, yeah, but he's still 26, 27 years old.
About
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see some of these top minor league guys. If they can go ahead and break through, see if any of them can go ahead. I know Detroit has the what is it, McDougal kid that a lot of people are high on. I'm not sure, where where he stands as far as possibly making making the big leagues. The other kid from Pittsburgh, I think we had mentioned Connor Griffin. He's another one. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pete did go down, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. So it's going to be, it's going to be really interesting, and the Weatherbolt kid from the Cardinals, they got the Deveris for the Athletics, Jesus Mate, or look at his name, it's Jesus Made. But these guys are young. Connor Griffin's 19. McCongle is 21. Mate from the Padres is 18. That Deveris kid that the A's got in the Mason Miller trade for San Diego, he's 19 also.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy when you look at some of the young talent that's in there, and you look at the guys that you have. You look at the Nationals, Cruz and Wood. That's
also coming up. And I did notice we had Blaze Jordan, which I don't understand that, but okay.
The Nationals got Blaze Jordan?
Yeah, he was. I was looking it up today, and he played in the game against the Phillies, I believe.
Huh.
It's like they're all minor leaguers that are playing right now.
Because Jordan, he came from Boston, right? Wasn't Blaze? Did he come in a trade or something? Or
I'm gonna have to look it up. I didn't look it. I just noticed that this is Blaze Jordan. I'm like, interesting. I don't know why. He hasn't, because he went from. Didn't he go from like the Red Sox to the Blue Jays at one point? And
oh wow,
because it was him and Marcelo Mera, I believe, that were the big ones at one point. I think it was.
Yeah, now. Yeah. And now with that trade that Boston made to get Durbin from Milwaukee, that that affects Mayo because a lot of people thought that he would be the starting third baseman. now there's a chance he may not even, break camp with the team.
Wow.
That he has to kind of, prove himself to go ahead and make the squad, which I found interesting.
Right.
But I mean, you look at the Orioles; they're young, with Holiday and Westberg, freaking Gunnar Henderson and Adelaide, Rushman and Cowser. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, it's
And Kobe Mayo, I think, still on their team, isn't he? I think he's another rookie for them. That's supposedly was
that's true.
pretty big. No, Mookie Wilson's not coming out of retirement. Mookie's done.
Anything's possible. I doubt it.
Maybe as a coach.
But it's going to be interesting. You have some of these young kids that they talk about, some of these squads. I know the Mets are high on a couple of their young kids to see what might happen. But then they traded away a couple. So that's what I want to see. They traded Sproat and Jet Williams to get Freddie Peralta. So I wonder, how Sproat and Williams fit in. Milwaukee. Are either one of them going to make the big squad? Going up or anything? Are they going to be stuck back in the in the minor leagues? I would think Williams for sure would go ahead and have to go back to the minors. When you look at what they have right now, I mean, they have a young players up the middle. So I couldn't. I mean, between Bryce Terang and I mean, he could take over for shortstop one day. We'll see. I think have a funny feeling that that's where they're probably looking for him to go, rather than the outfield. I never felt comfortable, honestly, even that with him as a Mets prospect of being an outfielder. I just didn't see it, from that standpoint. So
I'm sorry, I was wrong. Well, Jordan's not in our team. He's on the Cardinals. I was looking at the wrong team at that point, but didn't notice we picked up that Warming Burnable guy, so it should be interesting. See who we had played the other day. James Wood played the other day. Brady House is another one that's coming up and comer for us.
He's an infielder, right?
Brady House, yeah, he's a third baseman. Robert Hassel. Harry Ford, why did we take him? Dear God. I don't know.
Harry Ford was a very highly rated prospect with Seattle at one time.
Yeah.
And he might have actually been, their number one prospect at one time. Now I don't think Harry is. I'm what's trying to see.
He's no Cal.
Well, I mean, he's only 23 years old. He's a catcher, but you got Keibert Ruiz. So unless you try and do something there, I don't see how a guy like Harry Ford goes ahead and gets a lot of playing time. And that's one of the things that you look at from a standpoint of is, I understand the kid's 23 years old, but you're gonna bring him up in the majors and have him be a part-timer.
Yeah.
What is he gonna get? 2 games a week at most? One most weeks, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think he'd probably just keep him down the minors for a little longer. See what happens.
Yeah. Going to be interesting.
Yeah.
See how some of these kids that were drafted over the last couple of years, if any of them can, push through, make squads and everything. But I don't know.
I don't see it doing that great this year. Maybe 4th place, not the basement this time, but I don't think any runs at anything right now.
Well, I will tell you the National League East is going to be tough. I know a lot of people look at the Phillies and they're like, come on, man, what did they really do? Stuff like that and everything. And, the truth is, I don't know what the deal is with, what's his name? Wheeler. I don't know, but, with him, I mean, you got Harper, you got Schwarber, you got Trey Turner. You got Real Muto. Now I know Real Muto is not, the Real Muto is old, but behind the plate, he's still good there.
Yeah.
They just picked up. Didn't they pick somebody up recently? Don't they have like a new outfielder?
I thought they did, but I can't remember who.
Oh, Garcia. They picked up the right fielder from Texas,
That's right.
Adonis Garcia, right? So another a big bat to go ahead and sit behind, Bryce Harper. I mean, Bryson Stott, Alec Bohm, they're not bad players. Got a good closer in Duran. I mean, if that, their starting rotation, even losing what's his name to the Red Sox. Can't remember his name, but even losing him, they still got a decent staff. They're going to be tough. The baseball team from Georgia, as much as I hate it, if they stay healthy, they're going to be good.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
uh, if the Mets can get some good pitching, we're going to be really good. I mean, Marlins just traded away their ace, right? They traded away. No, they didn't. They kept Sandy, right?
Thought they did.
Yeah, they kept Sandy. They traded the other guy. Um, to the Cubs. They traded didn't they trade somebody to the Cubs? Edwin Cabrera. No. They traded somebody to the Cubs. But they got Christopher Morel. I mean, they're not gonna go ahead, and cause a lot of damage, but they got a couple of guys. I know they traded somebody from their team. Not obviously it's not Yuri Perez, whoever it is. But
I'm trying to look at their recent transactions.
what was with the
when-
Cubs? So if you look at let's see, if we look at the Cubs starting Edward Cabrera, not Edwin, Edward Cabrera. Chicago. I mean, Cubs should be pretty decent. Adding Alex Bregman, I think it sucks that Matt Shaw again. There's a guy rookie year last year. Now all of a sudden, hey, sorry Matt, we're gonna sign Alex Bregman, so you're gonna be a bench player. From that standpoint, but look,
It's going to be interesting. This Eli Willis is supposed to be the big prospect for us.
oh, he is, yeah, the kid,
baseball right now.
yeah. He was also he was like the number one chase card in Bowman draft
Yeah.
past year.
Well, he does. He actually is not. Let's see. Last year at I can't remember FBG for them is I think Virginia. He was batting
Florida Gulf
300
Coast. Eli?
maybe. FBG Florida Baseball Golf maybe.
I don't know.
But he had 50 at bats. Let's see, 15 hits, no home runs, but he was batting 300. So doesn't say how old he is though.
18.
He ain't
He's a
coming
kid.
up.
He was drafted out of high school.
Yeah, so he's not going to be. Well,
And I don't know what he projects. I know he's a shortstop right now. I don't know what he projects at the major league level because you don't know. I mean, some of these guys that
right.
started at shortstop. Next thing you know, they're playing center field. They may be playing, third base. Who knows?
I'm looking at to see like if I can find anything interesting on him, but nothing much is out there. But
The
he's a
Yankees
first rounder
announced.
for us.
Yeah, first rounder. Like I said, I know in Bowman draft, his 1/1 was like one of the big chase cards. Yankees announced they're going to retire CC Sabathia's number 52 jersey. Hall of Famer CC Sabathia.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, I know he's good for the Yankees, but I find that's a little on the interesting side to me. Hello, Chuck. How you doing, Mr. Dupree? Hope all is going well. Hope the wife is feeling well. So,
I'm trying to see.
I tell you, it's going to be interesting. I hope. You know what I hope? I hope the Team USA for the WBC, takes some of the inspiration from the hockey teams to go ahead and get fired up about playing. That would be pretty cool if you could go ahead and somehow win a WBC. I know it means nothing, but go ahead and say, hey, we have took hockey gold, take WBC gold. It would be nice. Again, it's not that big of a deal, but hey, it's a big deal for the players. So.
Right.
Well, like I said, looking forward to the season, getting started, everything. It's hard to take, in my opinion, with these first, couple of weeks of spring training, it's really hard to take anything, I don't want to say serious, but it's hard to go ahead and say, and it's hard to go ahead and be like, oh my gosh, this guy already sucks. Look what he's doing. Or this guy is already, oh my gosh, this guy is already going to go. This guy's already crushing it, from that standpoint.
Right.
Because the truth is, who cares about let's face it. Who really cares about spring training is for the players to get ready. I don't know, from that standpoint, looking forward to see what happens with the Tigers this year.
Yeah.
With having, the two lefties and Scooble and Valdez, and then they add Verlander and got Casey Mize. They have a couple of, good ones there. Larkin was here with his Royals. They're there. They got a decent staff. I still can't believe that Salvador Perez is their number one catcher. Not that he shouldn't be. It's just amazing to me that even at his age, man, he's still going back there as much as he goes back there.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it. I always liked the guy and stuff. But always, again, you would just think, that obviously they have young talent at first base, so you wouldn't make him a first baseman. Who knows if someday in the near future he goes ahead and becomes, full-time DH for them.
Right.
So we will see what happens. Like I said, I'll probably start, after this week, probably start paying a little more attention to what's going on, who's doing what, how players are, are starting to, how they're starting to look. I think right now, like I said, it doesn't really make sense to go too crazy. People are like, oh my gosh, this guy hit 2 home runs in one game.
Yeah, okay.
Spring training. Great for the player. Great for the players that do that. I think that's awesome. But spring training.
What's it mean in the long run?
Right.
He could hit 6 home runs in spring training and still not make the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Every say, my gosh, a guy just hit a friggin', 650-foot home run. All right, that's, even in spring training, that's worthy to go ahead and take a look at. But
right,
but I still think at the end of the day, right now, unless they have a whole bunch of guys going to slumps, and it's still going to be tough going against those Dodgers.
Yeah, it will be.
When you look at what they're going to roll out, the lineup they're going to roll out every single day.
Yeah. Even without Kershaw, it's still going to be a hard team to beat. They just have too many in there.
Yeah, the crazy thing is you take you go ahead and you take, Kershaw out of there. You're still looking at Yamamoto, Snell, Otani, Glass now, Emmett Sheehan. They still have the Sasaki kid. It ain't like they're hurting.
Right.
They upgraded their closer. I mean, they made a trade. They got Tommy Edman. Oh no, Tommy Edman was already there. I mean, man, they got Tucker, Pajes, Hernandez, Betts, Muncy, Edmund, Freeman, Will Smith. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, they're set for the next couple of years, technically.
Yeah. Yep. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well the Japanese players do.
Yeah.
To see how they meld. You look at some of the last couple that have come over and everything. Whether that are from a hitter side. They haven't really. I mean, Suzuki. Very well and stuff like that. So they've been decent. I think Murakami and Muramoto. I know I'm not saying that right. I think they're both going to do well. I know the kid Murakami, the one who signed with the White Sox, people are going, "Oh, he can't hit 93-mile-an-hour fastballs or better. He stinks at it." It's like, the kid's still only 25 years old. And now the thing is he should get better because he'll see that pitch more consistent. When you think about it, right? If you don't see that pitch all the time, and then all of a sudden somebody goes ahead and lets one of those go, it looks faster than 93.
Right.
So let him get settled. See what happens there. The pitchers, I don't know. We'll see what happens with those guys.
I think the one that's going to be doing good there is going to be Bubba Chandler.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. So that's good. I'm glad, Chuck. I haven't really watched him yet, but I think the kid's gonna do fine. I think he was smart.
Like Yoshida, who ended up really not doing much of anything. I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, Yoshida getting hurt didn't help him, but you're right. Even when he came back, it's not like, oh my gosh, he hasn't, he has not done as well as Suzuki has.
Right.
I think it is interesting that the youngster, though, I guess it was the only deal he got, but only a 2-year deal. So look, it's, hey, I got 2 years to prove myself. If I prove myself and I'm 27 years old, I'm going to get a good contract. If I have 2 good years, I'm going to get a really good contract, and people are going to be going, my gosh, he's still only 27. You give him a 6-7 year deal, you're taking him through his prime and everything.
Right. How do you feel about Kodai for you guys?
To me, he's on his best day, I still only think he's maybe a number 3. But now they're talking about thinking of going with, like a 6-man rotation to go kind of ahead and help out all of them, because that's going to make it better. And I don't know. I don't know about that. But to me, I think, like I said, Senga, he's had flashes of, oh my goodness.
Right.
But the sustainability just hasn't been there. So that's why, to me, I think he's a number 3 at best. The Sox can play during the season like that, which never happens. They won't lose 100 again. Yeah. Yeah, they got good young. I mean, they have a bunch of young guys. You get those young guys, and all of a sudden they're thinking, hey, you know what? Let's just go out and have some fun.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
And Chuck, you guys got rid of your laziest player. I mean, you gave him to the Mets.
Now he's going to be super motivated. Super motivated. Whoop, whoop. A healthy Senga is a 2 or 3 for sure. Yeah. I think more of a 3 than a 2. I don't think you're wrong. Chuck, when he stays healthy, it's going to be amazing. Okay, I said my little prayer.
He'll get hurt during the spring training or something. Be out for the first 6 games or something, you know.
Yeah. I think that's what the A's are going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's, adapting to that, that field in what is it, Sacramento that they're playing in now until Las Vegas is ready for them.
Right.
They finished, that that wasn't that bad. They finished, if they were 10 games under 500, but 5 games, 10 games under, but 5 games would have been a 500 team.
Yeah.
He may be a bum,
We'll
but you
find
know
out.
what? He's our bum now.
There you go.
Like I said, just
It's gonna be an
baseball.
interesting season.
We'll get to it. We'll talk more, but like I said, like right now, it's just again,
It's the feeling out period.
yeah. It's it's yeah. It's hard to go ahead and get excited, right now, when what because of the time of the year it is, right? Yes, pick a player, whoever it is, a young guy trying to make his way. Take a Murakami, right? Right now, he should do great because more than likely, if somebody's throwing a guy who is going to be, let's say their their number one starter, the number two starter, he's probably only getting an inning, right? So maybe he sees him once, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, from there. That's why I think when we get a little later in and starters, MLB starters are going a little bit longer. But the problem you have is you got the WBC going ahead and coming in here, right? So you're going to get guys that are going to go there who are probably going to wind up in reality being a little bit, even though they're veteran players, they're going to be a little bit behind because they're not going to get as many reps in the WBC. So ESPN put out a lineup ranking today. Dodgers 1, jumps from Georgia 2, Mets 3, which is already wrong.
Thing is, we only got 2 players that are going to play in that: Harry Ford for Great Britain and Matt Mervis for Israel. So I'm okay with that. But I was looking up that Eli kid. They had him come up for one of the spring training games, and then he didn't really do anything. He just basically subbed in for C.J. Abrams. Basically, they said he was on the bench to learn the knowledge of other players there. Some of the older players and the coaches to get, so I think that's a good idea to bring them guys up to, even if they just sit on the bench, to learn the knowledge of Major League.
They do. And it actually is not, it's, I understand why they do it, to see how the guys practice. Right, to learn the organization, stuff like that, especially if, when you look at it from a standpoint of, if you're a younger guy and you have a veteran, a veteran team, like if you're the Phillies, right, you have a pretty veteran team. You have a team that understands how to win, knows how to win. You take some of these younger, 18, 19-year-old kids, yeah, they may be 3-4 years away, but if you bring them into spring training, yeah, they're not going to play. Or, get, like you said, maybe they're a defensive, substitution, but you get them in the game and they see how a Bryce Harper prepares, how a lot of these guys go ahead and, prepare and stuff.
Yeah.
I got it, Dom. That would, yep, I hear you. That would be a great thing. I can't wait for that one. And they'll cry about something. What they do to Canadians. So the baseball team from Georgia is going to launch its own network to air 140 games. That's interesting.
Oh, you have 17 of your players are playing the World Cup, Baseball Cup.
17 Mets.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Matty Ice.
Soto, obviously. Clay Matthews, Nolan McLean, Vientos, Robert Stock, Jordan Gerber, Ben Simon, Josh Bloom. Man. I mean, a lot of them besides for Soto.
So only about 3 that we're going to care about.
Yeah. Those 1, 2, say 3 or 4. You're not really worried about anybody else. The other ones are probably all like the younger players. What's up, Maddie? Yeah, the chat in his was terrible.
What happened? It wasn't working?
No, it was like we'd write things, nobody'd see it. And it's like
Any good cards pulled?
There was 2 autos pulled, 1 scrub for the Angels, and then I forget who the other one was. It was a half, I think half decent.
Oh, are you supposed to get an autograph out of a mega box?
No.
Oh.
But out of Montero, that's who it was.
Yeah, anything's possible.
I think it might have been Miguel Montero. I don't remember. I know he was a Tiger. But, I mean, out of 3, was it 3 or 4 megas? You got 2 autos. So I think it's not terrible. I got 1 numbered card, and it was a Bobby Witt green to 199. I'm like, it's a $20 card. That's it. Like, well,
1 numbered card. That's it.
That I saw. Yeah, I don't know if there was more, but I think it was just that 1.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I haven't really heard of like massive cards being hit.
No, I haven't seen that, and I've watched a lot of the big breakers like Leighton and all them. None of them have pulled any of those magic boxes. I'm just waiting.
Oh, it was a Cubs catcher.
Yeah, I got the green Bobby out of 199.
Nice.
So I might even try to send that over to KC probably, or sell it to him, one or the other.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have it.
Yeah, I tell you, it's it's crazy. Like you sent the post about what is it, Heritage?
Yeah, there's no like you normally have like 301 to something. It's going to be your short prints. They don't have them this year. They have the variations and all that, but we're also losing 4 packs per box now. Instead of 24 packs, you're only getting 20. You're technically only going to get a relic, even though they have all these autographs that are supposedly signed to 77, and isn't it? But I'll wait to see if my LCS gets him what he charges.
Well, I mean, if you're not guaranteed any hits,
yeah.
I mean, and what are the hits in then? I mean, what are you getting in a hobby box? Is it 1 autograph
for Heritage or Stadium Club?
No, Heritage.
Heritage, it's you have a better chance of getting a relic more than you do an auto. It's so 1 relic or 1 auto, one of the 2.
So it's
like
still flagship. So it's still one and one or 1.
Yep.
I don't I don't know. I don't understand it. The best card was the PCA 25. Yes, it was. Thank you for that, PCA.
It did not make Dom's box, unfortunately. And then they released celebration boxes again for this year.
I saw that.
I call that basically opening day and
big league
together. That's all that is to me.
That's all it is.
And they want $50 freaking dollars. I'm like, no. eBay, they're already going for $80 to $100 a box. I'm like, no.
Heritage is a crapshoot, but there is a ton of stuff in it.
There's a lot of variations, a lot of.
I thought they were doing it with taken out a bunch of the variation stuff.
They did, but they put in other ones. It was like, I don't remember what it is, and I don't know if they're going to do hot boxes this year again, like they have in the past. But if it's anything like the Magic boxes, where it's 6 hobby boxes are Magic and stuff like that, it's going to be terrible.
Oh, older heritage. Yeah, the older heritage stuff were loaded.
I mean, I'll probably try a box. We the three of us, or if I can get one more to get into it, or maybe do a snake draft again. That was actually pretty fun. But I just don't understand half the stuff that they're doing now. They're taking packs away, taking hits away. It's getting worse.
Well, and if you look, think about it, you don't really see the content that you used to see being made on it anymore. Also, you see, the breakers going ahead and streaming on to, whatnot. I mean, on YouTube, right? Like in District and stuff like that. All those guys, they stream onto, District has a streaming feature onto YouTube. So you could go ahead and do that, but you see more of that than you do a lot of other, hey, ripping into this, ripping into that, and stuff, all that kind of stuff. So I just don't, I mean, it's stuff.
Dom, you pay for my travel and my room and the tickets to it. I'll go and do it for you. Even if they throw me out, who cares? I'll bring Chuck with me. Why not?
But that's the thing that gets me is well, I mean, in reality, again, like I look, the big Walmart by me, I'm telling you right now, between all the cards, right? Basketball, football, baseball, hockey, NASCAR, wrestling, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that kind of stuff, they probably have 24 feet worth of rack space, of shelves, probably 5 shelves or 6 shelves, 24 feet. And I'm telling you, it's full. I mean, it is full. Crazy how full it is, especially of basketball and football.
Yeah.
Now you can't find, the big, from what everybody was saying this year, the basketball hangers, tops basketball hangers, those were, people were getting a lot of stuff out of that. That you can't find out there anywhere. But, you're seeing all, like I said, all kinds of, stuff still sitting on the shelves. But you can still go and you'll still see 22-23 basketball, 22-23 football.
Now, I went to mine just to see, looking for hangers of Series 1. I found one. They had some blasters, and they had some Panini product, but that was it baseball-wise. Everything else was, like you said, basketball, football. There was some soccer. There was a lot of just crap stuff. It's just like, really? I go to Target. At least my Target has, for some reason, the hangers behind the counter with some blasters. And then there's blasters out on the shelf, but all the hangers are sitting back.
Of Series 1?
Yeah, and you can only get 2 per visit. I noticed on the website it's the same thing. You can only order 2 at a time now.
Huh.
So I think they're onto the whole hangers or bangers thing. People told them, and they're like, all right, well, we'll do this. I'm just trying to find the super box. I want to open one of those, but I have not found any around.
I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything. You would have thought by now at least one super box would have been opened.
I mean, I've seen 1 or 2 on YouTube, but nothing big out of them. Now, I know on eBay there is a Mike Trout Funko autograph card out there, but they want basically 40 grand for it.
So you've seen them on YouTube Magic Box?
I've seen like 3 or 4 of the super boxes open.
Super box?
but nothing super big at them. I mean, I saw 2 Bryce Harper Funkos and 1 Otani. That was it. It's not going to happen, Dom. And did you pick up a blaster of Ginter or an actual hobby of Ginter? I want to say probably a blaster.
Is it a is it flagship tops 2026?
Yeah, super boxes. They got rid of the pin and put a mini Funko Pop in it, and you get 1 Funko card. There's 7 players of it that you can get in there. There's base or autographed. Blaster from Target. Yeah, I wish my Target had some Ginter blasters, that they don't.
Oh, so the super box is the one that has the multiple pack things. That's the big box. What's the? Wasn't there supposed to be some other kind of special box and something? Was it a magic box? Wasn't there supposed to be some kind
that was
of
Stadium Club? Stadium Club did the magic boxes that you could get.
Okay.
But there's, like I said, there's 6 hobby, 2 megas, and I think 7 blaster ones of it. So I mean, your odds are. Well, oh yeah, Funko's still a thing. Funkos are still a thing. But yeah, I've been trying to find a super box just to open one for myself, and nothing.
Oh, okay. I saw those. I was thinking something different.
Dude, if you find one around your area, let me know. I'll send you the cash for it.
Okay.
I think they're $40. It should be.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, like I said, I'm surprised from the Stadium Club, right? That we really haven't heard of any. We haven't heard of one of those magic boxes being pulled.
And I watched Chomps and I watched Leighton, and neither of them have pulled anything better than a Chipper Jones autograph. That's it.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm glad I'm not getting into these breaks. Now, I did something stupid today and got into one of Striker's breaks, and that was a $100 loss. So I ended up getting the Giants, and I think I might have gotten 4 cards. that
has one from today.
Yeah.
Is that the Gilded Stadium Club one?
Yeah. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot one time.
Yeah.
And like never again. Now, if he would have pulled out of Gilded the Bonds Griffey Judge triple auto, I'd been happy. That didn't happen.
Is the Bonds in a Giants outfit, or is he in Pittsburgh?
Giants.
So how does he handle those? How does he handle those types of cards?
The top player on top is who gets the card.
Really?
Yep. And I'm like, oh, if you pull that, that's going to be awesome. I already looked up online. They're out of 10. Right now, one's out there for 17 grand. I'll sell mine for 10.
Yeah, don't have to be greedy.
I'll go right to my LCS and he'd buy it for that. So I'm not. Just like if I ever pulled that elusive 52 manhole redemption, I could probably get a case of something and do a break plus cash.
So has there been any more word on what that card actually is?
Nope. But the other ones that I've seen, like the 73 Willie Mays, there was a Willie Stargell one pulled. They all say, like the Mays said 1973 Willie Mays graded card. So I'm assuming that Mandel's graded, but I bet you anything it's between a 1 and a 3. Because you're not going to get a high end like 5, 6, 7 from them. You know that. But even a 1 to 3, $20,000 to $30,000 for it.
Yeah, I mean, it still is a. It still is pretty cool if you go even at, like you said, even if it's a 1 or a 3, that's still.
I'm just waiting to see it pulled or hear about it being pulled.
I don't know, man. I wonder. That Tom Brady one, that autograph one, from that about what? Hey, if football doesn't work out or if baseball doesn't work out, there's always football. But that was what, the 12 of 50 that he did this special thing on. The Superfractor, the 101 came out you know, I mean, I actually
That
I
was like
watched that.
4 or 5 days after
No,
the
no,
release.
no, triple diamond. I think pulled it on release day. I was watching when they pulled it and everything, but up until then, they had listed on their website. I think it was probably 8, maybe 10, you know, breaks. You know, different, you know, case break or whatever, you know, whatever, and and every single one that was open, that was still, you know, that did not sell out yet, you know, the nationals were gone and they were all going for 300-400 bucks or something along those lines, like, crazy money and stuff. And after it was hit, I was like, oh man, I know you won't hit that one, but at least, man, you know, you better hope you get some other kind of numbered one, you know, if you've paid that. And then after they did that, then they started doing what they started, what was it? How did they word it? They were doing the nationals, but they were doing them at a like a reduced rate. And what they said, what they
Wait,
caveat,
was it the Nationals or a different team for Tom Brady?
oh, it was the Expos.
Okay, so Nationals, yeah.
Yeah, so when you would buy the nationals. What they were doing was they got to a point after opening up so many cases that when they were opening it, they basically said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You know, if we hit the 12 to 50 Tom Brady, we are selling it and we're dividing the money about everybody who was you know, in the break.
There you
You
go. That's
know,
the way to do it.
yeah, because, you know, I mean, at least they get, because what was happening was people were like, well, shit, the chase card is hit. Like, even just getting in, saying, man, I was in the break. I could have had a shot, but I missed it. So I think what they were doing it was just so that some of their, you know, so somebody would buy, you know, the Diamondbacks. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like in Bowman draft, somebody would buy, the Guardians. So they were doing it, you know, from that standpoint.
They had a
Um,
chance to get some of that money if they pull that card.
yeah.
I wonder if the Dan Marino's been pulled yet out of 2025 because he has one in 2025. The Dan Marino card. I haven't seen any,
No,
but I wonder if that'll be like the same thing.
I don't know.
And every
But
time they do something like that, the breakers just jack the price for whatever team that's on.
well, yeah, because
I'm sorry.
that becomes the chase, and you know they got to get their money because, you know, from that standpoint.
Be like, just keep them the same, or maybe raise it, you know, $10 or $20 above every other team, but not skyrocket from, you know, your other teams are $30 and $40. Well, you're paying $250 for the Nationals. No. For this,
Man, Dom.
I feel like you're upset, Dom.
I mean, you can't. Why are you upset at the guy? You know,
What did he do to you? That's what I want to know.
Dom, man, he came back to the Mets, and the Mets said, no, hey, take the offer. From everything that I've read and people that people that that are in, in the New York sports media and everything said, you know, they didn't go ahead. They didn't offer him. He got the 5-year deal. Now, I think, you know, what people are pissed off about him is, you know, a couple of years ago, he could have signed a 5-year deal with the Mets, and he said no. But, I mean, you know, I wish the guy well. I hope he does, you know. I hope he has a lot of fun, you know, in Baltimore. The fans are going to love him because the fans in New York loved him, you know, from that standpoint. You know, but you know, like we were saying, you know, they between these magic boxes and loaded boxes and special this and special that. I mean, like, I'm curious, did the some of the tops now stuff, did we ever see that? What was it? The Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry card? Has we ever have we ever gone ahead and heard that? I'm kicking. He kicked my dog. He did not, you liar. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. If the guy does well and you can get money, but you know, I was just saying, John. You know, when you look at all these cards, right? Have we seen or heard anything about the Tops Now one of one LeBron, KD, Curry autograph?
No.
Haven't heard about that. Now look, I guess if you're the guy who pulls it and you're a fan and you know, maybe you don't, maybe you don't say anything. Do you have, you're like, if you pull it, do you have to say something?
Yeah, not really.
If you're the guy who, you open up your own, you go and you open up your own, hobby box, and you pull the redemption for Mickey Mantle. I mean, do you really have to say anything?
Yeah. Do you want to say anything?
Right. It's not like seeing a breaker pull it.
I mean, like, oh, I'm sitting at home and I open, say, a jumbo box and I pull that card and I'm not doing a video for it. Do I tell anybody? I
Right.
probably would, but I mean, just saying, do you really have to? No.
Right. No, but you're not all of a sudden, jumping on, doing a short and everything, throwing a short out there or something
That's what I
along
pulled.
those lines or anything like that.
What if anybody is selling those?
You tell, yeah, you would definitely go ahead, and tell your buddies and everything. And, if you go online, like, check this out, look what I got, take a picture of the card, text it to people and stuff like that. Dom, when did you get a dog? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Really
When did you get a dog, and what's your dog's name? Is your dog's name Mr. Met? Is your dog's name Edwin? Knowing you, your dog's name would be Mookie Wilson.
This is true. I'm looking to see if any of those
Mookie, of course. Yeah, his dog would have to be called Mookie.
graded cards are out here for sale. I don't see anything.
Oh.
They might have sold though too.
Had a dog for 12 years. He lives with my ex. Her name is Queens. I think that means she lives with my ex. Well, I mean, you could have I guess a male dog and call him a her and call him Queens. I mean, a male could be a queen. We've seen it.
Yeah.
So,
Can't tell me none of those are out here. Well, then again, nobody's going to want to sell it.
yeah, but I mean, it's funny, like, I pop open YouTube and stuff like that. Oh, Arnie's back.
Yep. He's not doing. He just basically does card sales, but
1990s Topps Box Review Part 2. He's live right now.
oh, well.
But all right, but look, so I'm looking, like, if I look at my YouTube, there he is. Then Run Good Life shows up. Father and son, they're doing a break. Ped's collection showing what a PSA blind reveal that he got. But I mean, there's not a lot on here. Like, even Chasing Cardboard. I mean, even his stuff. You don't hear a lot about his stuff and everything. Okay. I was dressed as Goofy.
Dom.
Oh man, Dommy.
All right, so we're gonna get into Elimination Chamber tonight.
We are. Well, first things first. I guess this was not the vision that they had for the vision when they put that team together.
That's true.
All three founding members gone with injury. And now does this make the guy dressed in black? Does this now make him irrelevant?
I kind of think it would to a point. I mean,
who the hell else is there to go ahead and attacking everything?
I mean, are they going to use this as a play? And Bronson Reed's not really hurt, but he looked really hurt.
No, they referee threw the X up, unless the referee is part of the work.
They did it for Rollins when he supposedly hurt his leg.
With anything is possible, but I mean, he did look, and because when I texted you during the match, you saw when the doctor was looking at Reed, the referee, went up to both, when they were in front of the announcers table, he went up and got in El Grande Americano's ear, and he got in Jey Uso's ear,
Let's see if there's anything update on this.
I have purchased the ESPN Unlimited, app and everything, because I usually invite a whole bunch of people over to watch. But that is gonna, that'll stop once I move, because it'll just be me. So I don't know how much of those I'll watch legally, I should say.
So there's not been any WWE releases official releases about his injuries. So that kind of can throw it as a.
No, it was on X at night. Wrestle Off. So there were reports that the WWE reported that it was a torn bicep. But right, there's no way Austin Theory was the plan all along. Yeah, no way Austin Theory was going to be the head of the head of the division and everything. I wonder if that's why later on at night Paul came out with Brock Lesnar.
Could be.
But I mean, you look at the way they did the Natty and Maxine match. What the hell?
Oh. I didn't understand that one.
That was freaking stupid. That made no flipping sense whatsoever to do that.
Yeah.
The Liv Morgan thing. I mean, look, everybody knew Liv Morgan was going to go for, Stephanie. There's no way Liv was going to go ahead and go for Jade.
Yeah, no. But and going back to Bronson Reed, it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of makes to a point with Jay winning, because you knew Americana wasn't going to win it. Me and you thought
Bronson Reed was supposed to win,
right? But if you play it off, okay, well, we're going to act like he gets injured, so Jay gets in. So now you have the three best friends, Randy, Cody, and Jey Uso in there. Might be a bigger kind of storyline of one of them flipping than Bronson Reed being in there. I don't know. I mean, it could. Who knows with them anymore?
Well, let's face it. I mean, the truth is, I mean, Cody and Randy, I think out of all of them, right? Aren't Cody and Randy? Well, no, Trick Williams. You have Cody, Randy, and Trick are your SmackDown guys. So,
right.
And then you have LA Knight, Javon Evans, and you have Jey Uso. So here's the deal. Out of those six, who do you want against Drew McIntyre in the night one main event?
Question. I mean, do you want that group? Or do you do the women's? Well, it depends on who. You'd have to have Cody. That's who I'm picking to win that, is Cody, just because he's the only one that makes sense out of all of them.
Right.
Unless they're going to push freaking LA Knight.
Yeah. I mean, and Larkin, I mean, that's the problem you have, right? You don't want Jay. I mean, no, and look, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Trick Williams in NXT. I like Javon Evans, but you're going to put those two guys already. You're going to push them to the title match. It you're going to have the effect of here they are shoving these new guys down our throats. You know, but to me, Randy or Cody, but I don't know. I don't want to see. I mean, you can't have. I mean, again, this is where I just look at it from my own personal standpoint. Obviously, TKO could do whatever the hell they want to do,
Right.
but in my opinion, you don't do what you did to Cody and have him do it all, and you don't get a shot and blah 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 blah, just to go ahead and have him win and get that match with Drew that fast. Like Cody should have to win like money in the bank and try to cash in that way, or he should have to go to the Rumble next year to get another title shot or something along those lines. So you can't do that. I like Randy. I just don't see that being good.
The only reason I don't say Randy is what they did to him with Aleister Black. The way he should have definitely won that match.
That's true. Right.
He did.
So that's what I'm saying. But I think to your point, Larkin, to me, LA Knight, but I don't know for sure. I mean, obviously, there's no need now with Reed getting hurt. There's no need for Knight to go after, the Vision.
Right.
I mean, that whole thing.
Well, he does have Logan Paul still, who was part of that whole thing that put him out.
True, but that whole thing, that whole Vision thing is just
has broken down into crap now.
Yeah.
What the Vision is Austin Theory and freaking Logan Paul, really?
Right. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they could possibly do, for that. Unless the thing is,
I agree with Larkin there. If he's ready, what do you do with him now?
Maybe you I don't know.
He takes out Austin Theory and Logan and then waits for the other two to come back.
But why? He wasn't a part of it. Those two weren't a part of it. Maybe you go and you join and say, hey, look, I'm the true leader. That's why those other guys aren't here. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe he kicks those two guys out.
Yeah. Yeah. Brock could be the head of the Vision Quest for a bit. That's true. He most definitely could. I did find it's going to be interesting in what they're going to try and do. With Brock Lesnar. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, night 1 or night 2 is going to have a match. And who is he going to have a match against? I know everybody is screaming for Obafemi.
I'm pretty sure that's who it's going to be. It's the only one that makes sense to come out because he took Oba out of the Royal Rumble. And Oba's going to want his return. But then who came up was it Friday night?
But I think
that came up and was in front of Oba, and Oba's like, yeah, we'll do that.
Rusev.
Yeah, so there's another one there. So I don't know what.
Yeah, but that you could go ahead. That can be a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown match and be done with it. To me, though, if aren't you in a tough position if it's Obafemi and Brock at WrestleMania? Do you have Brock lose already to that young guy? And if you do, what does that do for Femi? Like, where is he now? Right? Because
was Brock's open challenge for WrestleMania or was it for this weekend?
It sounded like WrestleMania. But what I'm saying though is
this is what I could see happening. They do it here at Elimination Chamber. Okay. You have Oba beat him. And then they have a rematch at WrestleMania. Because you get Oba to beat the Beast. That's going to push him up the ladder a little bit. So then you have...
Hell no. That should be a massive jump. That's what I'm saying. If you have Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania...
Oh, yeah. Wait till then, yes. I think they're going to have somebody step up prior to that.
You're talking about, but what do you do with him?
That's
I,
true.
I don't care. If you want to have that happen, that's fine. I'm just thinking, and maybe I shouldn't care. But but what are you doing with Obafemi if you do that? Okay, you're the new beast. Okay, but remember, Brock Lesnar held titles. So now all of a sudden you're gonna push Obafemi, Drew McIntyre, Obafemi, CM Punk, or Roman Reigns.
I think if you do, I don't think he goes that far, but I think if he does that, they push him towards like maybe a USA title or an Intercontinental to start him out.
Obafemi against Dom.
That I'd like to see. Because Judgment Day would get in the middle of it. And that could be too.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they're doing with him, but
And he hasn't signed anywhere yet, right, Oba?
no, he's still technically a free agent. But I don't mind what they're doing. It's okay.
Right.
But you have to make it last.
True.
You can't make him be like this. Oh my gosh, the indestructible thing. And then 6 months from now, he doesn't have a title. He's not entitled to matches, and he's losing.
True. And then the other side, what about Royce Keys?
You still have him.
So I mean, there's another big guy.
Yeah. I mean, like Keys against Brock, I think that would be a good one. But they're going to want to have Oba in some way, shape, or form at Mania.
Yeah, Judgment Day is still a thing technically. I think it's slowly falling apart, but
I think this week will be a big thing because Dom asked for help this coming week when he has his match, and he has Finn and JD, and Finn was like, "Well, Dominic, nobody helped me, Dominic." Yeah, I can see that one. I can see that. But like I said, to me,
down the road, I would believe.
I think here's what I think.
And Brock at WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure that's who they're going to put in there.
I don't think it is.
Well, who else are you going to put in there?
I don't think it is. I think Cody.
Cena comes back.
Cody. Because I don't think they're going to have Cody win the Chamber. You're not going to have Mania without Cody.
No,
so
you're
who
not.
does Cody go against? You're going to want if let's say Randy wins, you're going to have Cody against what? LA Knight? If Cody says he's QB1, QB1 should step up.
See, my thing is what I don't get with that, then that kind of negates the passing of the torch when he beat Brock the last time. And Brock shook his hand, gave him a hug, basically passing the torch, more or less. So if you have that again, does Brock beat him then? And then he goes to the back of the line? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean that is a good point and everything, but I just don't know where do you have Cody? I mean, you can't have WrestleMania. I mean, Cody has to be there one of those 2 nights, unless Cody. And maybe the truth is, maybe we'll find out on Saturday. Maybe Cody does. Maybe they look at the landscape and they go, you know what? We may not want Cody to win, but we got him.
Because you don't have Cody versus Punk, because that's already Roman Reigns.
Yeah. They've already said it's the winner gets Randy Orton.
And nobody really wants to see a Cody Drew match again.
That's why I'm saying that's why I don't think he wins, but that's what I mean. And what do you do with Cody?
And there is that kind of Cody Sammy,
yeah.
Yeah.
It could be that.
And there's no Money in the Bank people left.
God, that would suck for Cody Rhodes, man. You go from main eventing WrestleManias and all this other kind of shit, and you're fighting Sami Zayn. You're fighting the male version of Bailey.
Yeah. Does it come down to that, really? I mean, maybe Cena comes out of retirement for that match against Brock to beat him.
You know they're gonna want Oba. You know they're gonna want Trick Williams. You know they're gonna want Javon Evans. You know they're gonna want these certain guys. You know Logan Paul, the whole Vision thing, whatever is left of it. Something somehow is gonna be done with those guys.
And then you go to the other side. Do you have Finn Balor beat CM Punk in his hometown? Then he goes and faces Roman.
I cannot see Finn win.
I can't either, but you never know with them. It would not make sense, but I can see. It's either Cody or LA Knight. I mean, I'd love to see Randy win to be able to go after his 14th or 15th title, but I don't see that happening right now.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see some of the things that they go ahead and set up. And I tell you this other thing, so I mean, and we haven't even talked about, they're going to have, when you're looking at the different matches, what I think last year was it 7 matches per night, I think?
6 or 7, I think.
We haven't really even talked about, any of the ladies' matches. They are going to have, a bunch of matches. You got to believe the U.S. title, the Intercontinental, and the 2 other titles. So that's at least 4 women's matches right there. Do they dare show the tag team? So that could be 5.
I don't think you see the Intercontinental or U.S. there. I do believe you'll see
Becky against AJ Lee potentially.
If AJ Lee beats Becky in Elimination Chamber, which I think she's going to because it's Chicago, you could see a rematch there at WrestleMania. I don't see the tag team titles, but that is a possibility. WrestleMania is big for that, though, more than it is like the U.S. and Intercontinentals. And you have the women's Elimination Chamber. Who do you have winning that one? I got Rhea winning it. I just think that's what they're rolling for.
Rhea, Rhea. Well, so what's I'm trying to say? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they had 7. They had 7 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Randy Orton wasn't there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they had 7 matches both nights.
Okay. So
you got to figure 2 men's titles. IC will go, US will go. So there's 4 right there. I mean, that's why I'm saying Jay. The Usos got to have a match. So there's 5 matches right there out of your 14. If we think the women have, then the women have there too. I mean, I gotta believe that. I would think the IC title would go ahead and be at WrestleMania for the women. They did it last year.
If you had 14 matches between the 2 days, you have 7 women matches, 7 men matches, then yeah, you could definitely.
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough. After championships, I don't think there's. What women's matchup would you want to see?
I don't know.
If you put all 5 titles on the line, right? So let's say you already have Liv and Stephanie, right? You're going to have Jade, and let's say it's Rhea. All right. You have Becky. I guess you know either. I think it could be Becky and AJ. It could be. It could be for a. It
Well,
could be a rematch. It
now
could be a
going back to
rematch
what
like
you're
that.
saying there, that
Huh?
Rhea doesn't make sense then. Because if you put all the titles on the line, Rhea and Io are still tag team champs, so that means she'd be wrestling twice that night, or one night and one the next night, one or the other.
Yeah, that's walking. That's what Jay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they could do it on the separate nights. That's possible,
They could.
as long as Rhea doesn't get hurt by Jade. But
So I don't know, but I'm just thinking from a standpoint. But again, you know, if you look at right now, if we're going to say Oba, Trick, and Javon Evans, let's say none of them are in a championship match. Like if I don't know what you could do to, let's say, either Trick Williams or even Javon Evans. Like what can you do from the month of March to get some kind of a feud or some heat where one of those where they would be going either against for a US or for an IC title. So if they're not involved there in any way, shape, or form, because I think we're going to get Finn versus Dom at Mania for the IC title.
that is possible, especially if Dom interferes during this match on Saturday. That'll definitely spark that to be like, if Dom interferes and Finn loses, he's going to blame Dom and be like, all right, I could go that. I'm coming after you now for your IC title.
Right. But I think, like I said, from a you know so that's what I'm saying. So if you have your five titles and you don't have Oba, Javon, or Trick Williams in them, you gotta believe they want those three guys at Mania. They're getting too much of a. They're all in big matches.
They are. I mean, I don't know how bad Javon Evans hurt his knee during that match, but which didn't look like it was anything big. But
Yeah.
they could use that as, okay, well, he's injured, so we're going to replace him at Elimination Chamber. That doesn't make sense. None of them are going to win the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be Randy, Cody, LA Knight, or possibly the boring Jey Uso. He's gotten old to me. I liked it in the beginning. It's just gotten old now.
Dude, Jay will not be one of the first two.
No.
He's going to get his music. He's going to go in. He's going to go into the pod. Then at some point in time, while he's in the friggin' pod, he's going to give the roll it back friggin' thing, and they're going to friggin' do it. And it's going to take everything away from whoever is in on the match.
I think the first two eliminations are going to be Javon and Trick. Then you have your four main guys, big guys, going at it.
I think, and
Jay having the tag titles, I think he would be the next after that. And then it's basically a free-for-all between Randy, Cody, and LA Knight.
You know, you never know, because Jay was not supposed to be there and it was supposed to be Bronson Reed. They could rewrite it and have him go out first.
That's possible, yes. That's true. They probably would.
Like I said, I just don't, to me, it's one of those things where, again, I really don't care who they push. When you take these young guys and you're jumping them into, and I'm not saying that they don't deserve. I'm not saying that they don't necessarily deserve to get the pushes, but like to me, unless you're going to put a title and keep it for them, like what are you going to do? Again, that's the thing that gets me about Obafemi with the way they are making him look right now. You know, you're it's and I know it's not a fair comparison, but it's Goldberg-esque, right?
The only one
Even
that's not a face is Trick Williams. So I don't think he's a face right now, or maybe he is.
yeah, I don't know. Trick is in the middle. Trick is one of those
He's a
could be a
tweener.
face, it could be a heel type guy.
But yeah, the other ones are, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're setting up Oba that type of thing, right? He's going out, he's destroying opponent, after. You know, and that's what again, not comparing the two, just they're not comparing the two wrestlers and their abilities, but the actual persona of the character and what they were displaying. Though they're looking at those two as basically being the same type of thing, right? They are unbeatable. They're gonna go ahead, Goldberg, and I think it was what Goldberg's sixth or seventh match. He won the title and then he kept the title for a while. Are they gonna do that with Obafemi? Are you gonna have guys like Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, heck, who knows? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. I mean, are you gonna have them all go up against him over the next course and lose all the time?
Yeah, good question.
You know, I don't know. That's the thing. See, that's the thing, like I don't care about the push. I don't care that I mean I like what they're doing with Obafemi, but it makes me scratch my head because because it's like okay, everybody wants to see Oba as a champ. Then
I get it.
how long do you do it?
Yeah.
I get it, Lockin, and I'm not saying that it would be bad, but if is that what you're going to do? Are you going to have Obafemi basically be your champion for the next 2 years or at least the next year or whatever like that? If you make him into that type of if you have that type of persona, if that's what his character is, are you willing to do that? Are you okay with doing that? Is from that standpoint, I don't know whether it's right or wrong. There's part of me that, you know, wants to go ahead and see it, but then I'm thinking, the last time, WWE did this, it took a while for the guy to get over. The last time they forced someone and they just, now the fans like Oba, very different. They think, they think that, that he earned it and stuff to be where he is. I guess he has. I mean, I don't know, it's NXT. It's not like, I mean, he wasn't facing, you know, uh, you know, a bunch of superstars down there, so I get that part. I'm okay with it. Um, I just don't know. Like I said, I really don't, I really don't have an issue with them doing it. I'm just more, I'm just more not concerned, but I'm more curious as to what their plan would be. And again, think about it. They almost in a way have to do something drastic after losing all the Vision guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you've taken 3 top guys. You've lost 3 top guys.
Yep. And why are there no NXT women in the Elimination Chamber? That surprised me too that they didn't have any of them in it. Like at least 1 or 2.
That's a great point. I don't know.
And you got Sol Rook in there. You could have had one of the other ones.
Yep.
And they don't. It's all. And now that I think about it, I have a feeling they're going to have Roxanne win that, or Raquel win that one. Only because
I mean, that's true.
She'll go up against Jade, a bigger girl.
Yeah, you have Roxanne. You have, I mean, that match is. I mean, I think that match. I don't
Has a
think
little
they
better
would do. I
potential
don't
than the
think they would
Bucks.
do Raquel. To me, I still think you could be looking at Asuka
I don't know.
winning the Elimination Chamber. And the reason why I say that is Asuka against Jade.
Oh dear God.
But the thing is this: Asuka can take it. In my opinion. And I think you could, I think you could easily put it on, on Asuka. I don't think anybody cares about the Kabuki Warriors anymore. You know, I mean,
But you
my
could
fear is that
also.
Jade is going to win, and we're going to get Jade. Tiffany's going to win, and we're going to
Oh dear
get
God.
Jade Tiffany again. But Larkin is 100% correct. I mean, it's just horrible. It has been a dumb
It's been a
run.
dumpster fire.
Yeah, it has been terrible. It has been horrible.
But
If
you think
I'm
about
that
it,
bitch, and she throws the friggin' mic down and walks away. I mean, come on.
if you have Raquel win, she beats Jade for the belt, and let's just say Liv beats Stephanie. Now you have both women champion in the Judgment Day. Now do you split the Judgment Day up because now you got to have
You
Raquel
have
over
to.
on, or do they do like they've been doing, going back and forth between shows? Cody did it.
Not true.
I mean, but that was because of the AJ thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's Jade is kind of like the Roman Reigns of women. One match every 4 months, 5 months or so, and then.
Yeah, but at least people want to see Roman.
This is true. But I'm definitely going to say CM Punk's going to win. I believe AJ's going to win.
You think AJ Lee is going to beat Becky, huh?
Yeah, I think they're going to put the belt on her. Not for long. Maybe till WrestleMania.
So then they have a rematch at WrestleMania, and Becky Lynch wins it back.
Yeah, basically. That's the third match or whatever it is, I think, that they do like to do. I'm going to go with. Why do I feel it's going to be LA Knight, not Cody, now that I think about it? The way they're trying to push LA. Yeah, I'm going to take him in winning that one. Raquel winning the women's. And that's it, right? Those 4 matches is it? What do you have the Intercontinental with Dom in the U.S. title? I don't think either of those are up, are they? Match wise?
Last I heard, it was only the 4.
Yeah, so.
I haven't heard of them adding a 5th one yet.
I don't expect any changes coming Friday night either.
I mean, Raquel against Jade. Oh, my Lord.
You have Big Sexy, the woman version, versus Jade.
That's got to be like a middle. That's got to be a match in the middle.
Yeah.
That's the I'm in Vegas. That is my, go to the snack bar match.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my I'm going to the bathroom. I'm getting another beer and I'm getting a hot dog.
Yep. I'll be right back. I'll let the girls in.
Yep. I'm going back to my seat and everything because my Lord. I think at least Rhea or Asuka could make that match something, make it watchable. I don't know if Raquel against Jade. I don't know. Oh boy, I just don't know how watchable that match is. I think it would be nice. I think it would be nice if it was LA Knight. I'll tell you one thing though, it wouldn't surprise me if it was LA Knight. So if it's LA Knight, Chuck, is that main event of night 1? Or do you think a Liv Morgan, Stephanie Varcar could be a night 1 main event? I agree. Oscar Jade. I think Oscar can carry Jade if she needed to. I just don't know if they think LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, that I don't, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't care. I mean, I mean, when matches are, I mean, that doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, stuff like that. But opening match, damn, Chuck, that's a good idea. Man, I didn't think of it being an opener. That would be a decent way if it was LA Knight, Drew McIntyre opening up WrestleMania.
I don't think they'll do that though.
Balcar and Liv night 1.
No, I can tell you right now, the Liv Morgan, Valkyrie, and the Roman CM Punk will both be night 2. I can almost guarantee it. Too big a names not to put them on night 2 to close it out.
I don't think so, John, because you want Drew McIntyre. If you're looking at your champions, you have Drew against whoever and Jade against whoever as your night 1. I don't know. I don't know.
We all know that night 2 is going to be the Roman CM Punk. That's a given.
Oh yeah, I think that's the only one we know for sure.
Night 1, God, we could see anything. I mean, you're going to have obviously a championship match at the end, but who it is, I mean, it could be the Jade and what do you call it, one at the end of that one. It could be the Drew McIntyre, and like you said, I mean, it's going to be a boring ending, but then most of them are on night 1.
I just don't think they can. In my own personal opinion, I just don't see how they can put Jade and whoever as a headliner, as a main event.
Well, I'm not saying that they would be main event, but I think that match would be on night 1. Maybe a third match in, maybe. And you close it with Drew and whoever he's going to face. If they happen to make it,
but then again, they could be looking. I mean, to be honest with you, they could be looking. They gave. They had the belt on Drew, right? I mean, why not go ahead and reward him, with a main event on WrestleMania?
Like night 1?
Yeah.
I could see Drew possibly. Them closing it out, yeah. I mean, and is there any surprises that could be coming up for that? There could be. Because you could easily, with that Drew LA Knight match, you could possibly have Seth Rollins interfere in that one because he has that thing against Drew. I mean, there is that possibility there. And then they end up making it what you hate, the triple threat.
Oh.
I mean, they haven't had anybody come out and do that in a while, like they used to back in the day. Well, you're going to interfere. Now it's going to be a triple threat match. I mean, there's always a possibility we see Bianca come back in the middle of that Jade, whoever she's going to fight match too. I know she had issues with her finger again, but I mean, there's still plenty of time. So there's a lot of things that could come into play during the next month.
Yeah, and that's also believing that. Well, I mean, what are you doing with Gunther? Oh, Bianca's out. Just had another surgery. What are you doing with Gunther?
Yeah.
And this whole thing with Dragon Lee. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't have him wrestle Dragon Lee, beat Dragon Lee, take Dragon Lee out, and then however long it is, have Dragon Lee come back, because how is he the career killer? You know what I mean?
Right. So she broke her knuckle and joint. She did mid-February. It says, she may appear at WrestleMania, but she's not going to fight in ring. So there's that possibility she could come out and kind of distract Jade. I don't know, but
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, so you have, oh man, so you have that match, you have that match. That's 4 matches we can guarantee are going to be there. What other matches do you have?
Well,
No,
that's
Drew
what
is
I'm
not a
saying.
number 1 guy.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at it from the men's side alone, right? I mean, you would think if you put the belt, if you put the tag belts on the Usos, you gotta believe that the Usos are gonna have a match.
Who they
You
put him up
you
against?
don't you don't think they want Allegiant Stadium, whatever the hell it's called, yeeting for 5-10 minutes,
That's true.
right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that. So if you're talking 2 title matches, two men's titles and the tag, we haven't even said whether IC or US, but we know that's 3. I gotta believe in some way, shape, or form. To me, it would be very odd if Trick Williams, Obafemi, and Javon Evans were not included in some way, shape, or form. So
True.
that could be 3 more matches
Well,
potentially
who
there.
has the U.S. title right now?
Isn't it still Carmelo?
So you could have Carmelo go up against like a Trick Williams or a Javon Evans. I can't see him going up against Oba. That's like a
I mean,
squash
you have
match.
to go up against Trick. They renew that rivalry from NXT.
Right.
But again, I'm still saying, but that's what I'm saying though. So that's another match right there. So now men's
Yeah.
matches, you're already at like 4.
And
You
like
have
you said, if it ends up being Dom and Finn, that's 5 matches.
right. You gotta believe with the push, you're not leaving now. Does Obafemi just come out and wreck something? Not in a match. I guess he could, but you're gonna have him ruin the match, or do you have, let's say, a Brock Lesnar? I mean, like again, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have Royce Keys be there. You're gonna have him lose. That's what I'm saying from a standpoint. You're gonna have Oba lose. Are you gonna have a Royce Keys lose? I mean, these are new guys you're bringing in. You're trying to give them pushes. You're trying to make them something. How do you make them be losers on the grandest stage at your biggest event?
Or like you said, let's say they have Oba there. He's not in a match, but he's there. And the only match that he would really be interested in interfering in would be the Drew McIntyre match.
Or Brock Lesnar.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
you already that's true. We haven't even spoken. Brock is having a match in some way, shape, or form.
So if he comes out doing that one, that would start that feud with him and Brock.
True.
You could have a storyline that would be about 10 months in the making, but whatever.
Yeah.
Brock's a part-timer. Keys will win the Andre Battle Royal.
They still do that?
They don't do that at Mania, do they?
Do they do that like the night before? Is that at the SmackDown before, maybe?
Maybe. But it's just, that's the only way I can see Oba getting involved is something like that. And here's the other question. Who do you think is in the box? I can eliminate Chris Jericho. I don't think it's him.
We'll find out. I mean, they'll announce that Saturday.
Be curious to see who they have and when they do it, when they open that up.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the show or at the end.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It won't be the end. I gotta believe it's gonna be the men's elimination chamber will be the last one. That'll be something big for whoever wins that because they're gonna main event WrestleMania. You know,
who does?
I really don't know. Danhausen.
if Seth is ready to come back, like say now, who would he go after in that elimination chamber to try to go after the title for like injure somebody to go after Drew? There's not really. I mean, because he's obviously. It kind of only makes sense for him to come back as a face, but he might not. If he comes back as a heel, still, then he could go after any one of them, except for the 2 NXT guys or new guys, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know. I know WWE has gone ahead and there was an announcement I forgot, but they copyrighted or whatever the hell it's called, a couple of more names and stuff. But I think those are some guys that may be like either on the from the independents or TNA or something along those lines that might be coming over. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know. I mean, whatever it is, it's almost like it's made up
I agree, Larkin.
because of what they're doing with the vision. Yeah, like his style doesn't work
Yeah.
in this match.
No, not at all.
You know,
I wonder if he
unless
was set to win that match or if something happened to where he ended up winning it.
unless he's gonna. The one thing I could almost see him definitely trying to do is the cutter from the pod. You know,
That's going to end horribly. That's all I'm going to say.
that's a hard fall to take. You know,
He tries that, and then Randy gives him the RKO from up there. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I mean, it's the cutter versus the RKO.
I mean, I don't see Evans. He should not have been there. No, I would have rather see El Grande in there, or
Yep.
sorry, Chad Gable.
The original El Grande Americano. I mean, would you think we'd have a Grande and an El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano at Mania?
If they do it, if they did it, they would have to be mask for mask.
Or
That's the
or
only way
maybe, or could that be a SummerSlam thing?
Could be a SummerSlam, but that's the only way that match would make sense is to do whoever wins gets to unreveal the mask of the other person. It's the only thing that makes sense for that match. But the box could also, like I said, I'm going back to the whole. If it's Seth, he could interfere in the CM Punk Finn Balor match.
That would be cool, Chuck.
Oh God! Drop down into an RKO like JD did.
I know, but I mean, honestly, I mean, I really have no clue about the box. I don't know,
It's
almost what it could be. I mean, it just goes so freaking stupid. The WWE would be if it is if it's a person, like you had a person staying in a freaking box for that long. It's not like
the
it's
smart
not like
people know.
yeah, it's not like the gobbledygooker who came out of the egg or anything like that, or stuff like that. At least that's a bird is supposed to be living in an egg. I don't know. I really am clueless. I mean, I thought potentially it could be Rollins, but then I'm thinking it really doesn't make a lot of sense.
The only
Because
reason
you would think I can't imagine that the only way the bot if you're thinking that there's an interference with the person in the box is that it would almost have to mean that the box would have to be opened like kind of sort of as the match is going. Right, because what are you gonna, you're gonna open it before the elimination chamber match, and then maybe I mean, then I guess you could go ahead and have the person, attack, but
yeah.
I mean, I really don't know. I don't know.
No, it's the podium for the next Raw secret general manager with the computer on.
I don't know.
But there's also talks of a new general manager coming in for Raw.
Well, should be one for NXT. There should be one for NXT.
I've seen Goldberg. I've seen John Cena possibly. A couple other guys that have been touted as possible replacements. But I don't see that happening.
Personally, I think Goldberg is done with the WWE. I don't see him doing much with them, especially after that, the way he went out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is new championship belts.
That could be.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm real. You know, I'm not sure. There's like, you know, I don't know.
Maybe it's Vince. He comes walking out. I'm back.
You're fired. You're
Yeah.
fired.
Yep. Does it to both general managers and he walks off.
True. That is definitely that, you know, and honestly, Chuck, with you know that could be a change of plans that happens. You know, for sure, that could definitely be because
Because he
obviously, you
wasn't
know,
originally the
obviously
person.
their you know their vision of the vision is gone. So maybe they can do something, you know, different along those lines to do it. I don't know. I just, you know,
Maybe Braun
like I
Breaker
say,
made a miracle recovery and is back already.
that would definitely be a miracle comeback. I mean, it doesn't pay for it to be Seth. Why?
Not at this point anymore.
That's
If
not the way that
If Reed was in the elimination chamber, I could see it because he would, go in and stomp Reed so he gets eliminated.
that's
But
that is not the way Seth Rollins comes back. I don't know how he comes back, but
I think he's going to be the masked man at some point when the other two get back healthy.
it's possible. But to me, Seth coming back, it's going to be the same way The Rock came back, Stone Cold came back, the way Roman came back. You are going to hear his. You're not. You're going to hear his music, and then he's going to come from. He's going to come down the stage. That's to me. It's not going to be a surprise box thing or the masked man thing. I don't think so. I think when now maybe he reveals himself, but he reveal that you hear his music come, and then out comes the guy in the he's in the hoodie with the mask, and then he rips everything off. Maybe Heyman is in the ring, with Logan Paul and Austin Theory, maybe Brock Lesnar, maybe not, right? But I can see that type of thing of them talking. Seth music hits, out walks a guy all dressed in black, hoodie, mask, walks down,
Do you
and
think possibly with this whole, because Heyman is with Brock, that at WrestleMania, that's where Seth comes out to face Brock there? Is that a possibility, do you think? Since the other two guys are injured, if he beats Brock, then he can go after the other two, well, when they get healthy. And then he can have the feuds with Logan and Austin Theory, of all people. And
it's
so those
definitely
other guys
possible.
are back. Because that would make a
Yeah,
more interesting thing, like Brock's in the ring waiting for somebody to come out, and then there it is. There's Seth walking out, like you said. His music plays, he comes out all dressed in black, and it's me. Hi, sorry. I like
yeah,
that
right.
line.
You got 8 to 10 guys in hoodies in the box, and the box opens, and they all come pouring out of it.
And they rip them off. It's all security guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, the whole thing that happened with the Vision, when Seth got hurt, it changed it. Brock changed it more, and now it has. I mean, it's blown up. Like I don't know how you end it unless you are sucking in Lesnar.
As a temporary.
As if I don't see Lesnar as wanting to be a part of a faction like that.
He's never really been a part of the faction, I don't think. Really, it's always been
No.
him and him only.
Yeah, I mean, he's done his war games and his,
Right.
tag matches, Survivor Series, stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, it's never been, he's never been a real,
Team
a
player.
real tag team that has, tried to go after the titles.
Right. So I mean, I think Brock is on his own. Now that I think about it, that would be an excellent way for Seth to come back. Is who's going to? There's nobody in the back that even wants to try it. And then you have Seth. Maybe. I mean, watching Seth and other things that he's been on, like ESPN and all this kind of stuff, he's flailing his arms like there's nothing wrong with him. So I have a feeling he's just about ready to go, just waiting to get cleared by the doctors to wrestle.
I think they are. Yeah, I agree. I think they are trying to. I think they're trying to find a way. You know, when I think they had a direction they were going, and then
once Braun Breaker got injured,
Breaker got hurt, and they went, okay, we got to go this way. And now Bronson got hurt. I don't know if they know where to go. That's why I think the whole box thing came out of nowhere, right? It was after Braun Breaker announced that he was hurt. That it was announced that he was going to be out indefinitely. So that's what I don't. That's so this whole box thing, between that and the guy in the hoodie, everything changed as soon as all these guys started getting freaking hurt. And the thing that gets me again is the first time the guy appears, what does he do? He helps the Vision by going after Punk.
Right.
Right? And then the next time he shows up, who does he go after?
Yeah.
Right? He went after the Vision. Because it wasn't an elimination chamber that he took out Breaker.
Yeah.
And then he showed up again, and then didn't he go ahead and stomp? Didn't he stomp Austin Theory? And then he jumped over because we saw Logan Paul almost catch up to him with the crowd. So the first time he helps them, then the next two times he hurts them.
Well, he helped them twice, because he also helped them against when Rey Mysterio was in a match with one of them. He stomped Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, that's right. So 4 times.
Yeah.
So four times we've seen a masked man. 2 times he's helped them. 2 times he has hurt. He's gone. 2 times he's, let's say, been with them. 2 times he's been against them.
And the 2 times that he helped them, we knew it was Austin Theory because he revealed himself. Supposedly it was him.
Right.
And then now you have him
going a new one who has gone against Division twice.
But who else is there that would do it? I mean, it's just, it's not Grayson Waller. That's definitely for sure. It's not Logan. It's not Austin, because they were there when it happened. It happened to the one.
Yeah.
When they reveal, it's going to be interesting when they reveal that one, because that should be coming up here soon.
Could it be a Ricky Saints from NXT? Now, Ricky Saints, he may have been. I mean, Saints is not a tall guy, right? So I'm not sure if it could be her. I mean, him or him.
I just don't know who else it could be. I mean, for me, the only person that makes sense there is Seth, because he's not in in-ring action. He's just stomping and running off. So he's not really hurting anything there. However,
no, but hopping over those barricades and everything, you do have to use your arms to go ahead, which would cause pressure on your shoulders to lift you over. In a way,
depending on what arm it is, I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
If you go over with one arm, Ethan Page just lost his title. I don't see it being him.
Yeah,
Is it Joe Hendry? Joe Hendry's got the right size, but he doesn't have the goatee like you saw in some of them. Although now all you see is basically this part of the mouth and the mask, and the eyes are real beady, so you can't really predict who it is.
I don't.
But I would imagine If not Friday or during Elimination Chamber, it'll be coming up in another week or two, and they're going to figure out who it is, or he's going to reveal himself. It would to keep it going just doesn't make sense, especially with Reed and Breaker being out.
Unless it's the only way they figure out to kind of sort of keep division together.
True.
And that's really probably the only thing that you could do. That kind of keeps the vision. I don't want to say relative. Now, can you go ahead and can you make this last long enough for at least Braun Breaker to come back and then let it actually go ahead and be Seth? I don't know, because the last I read about Braun Breaker, it was indefinite.
Well,
I know it initially came out 6 to 8, but the last thing I read was that he was out indefinitely.
Let's see what they're saying. So they're saying potential return range 6 weeks, 12 weeks to 6 months. Serious hernia, immediate surgery, probably was aggravated beyond description. He is off the road and missed the Royal Rumble aftermath. His WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas is uncertain, threatening a planned matchup with Seth Rollins. So they did have a planned matchup for that.
Who?
Wow. WWE did have a planned match for Rollins and Breaker at Mania, which means he would have to reveal himself prior to Mania if it's him in the mask. Correct. But now, like you said, he's out. What do they do?
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone ahead and it could have gone down to where if Brock was 100% healthy at Elimination Chamber, and we don't know if he was.
When is SummerSlam this year? Did they move that to June?
I want to say June, but I don't think it has come out. I don't remember seeing a I know it's in New Orleans.
Let's go to shows. SummerSlam.
So this is still showing August.
Is it?
According to, when I Googled WWE SummerSlam 2026 date, but it's saying US Bank, Minneapolis, August 1st, 2nd, 2026. Minneapolis to host, and it's August.
August 1st, yeah.
Weren't they talking about moving it to June?
I thought they were. Maybe they changed it because they added. I see they have Backlash May 9th.
I know they have like Clash at the Castle or whatever the hell it's called.
It's in Italy.
In Italy, baby. Woohoo!
Yeah. Seeing what they said about Braun Breaker, if he speeds up, it could be in time for SummerSlam. Do they hold off with Rollins and keep him with the black if he's doing that, if he's the guy doing it, and just keep doing it to Logan and Austin Theory until possibly SummerSlam? I mean, if he's ready to go, he's going to want to get in that ring, I would imagine.
Yeah, I cannot believe that he's going to want to wait that long.
Like, I can see maybe waiting till Backlash and he comes out, depending on what's going to be there and who's going to be there. But it is going to be interesting. Do they show anything for looking at the?
Oh, no. That's what it was. That is what it was. They went ahead and moved Money in the Bank to September, because Money in the Bank used to be in June.
That's right, it did.
And then in September,
Looks like they did WrestlePalooza at least.
They had Backlash. No, not Backlash. Backlash is in May. Battleground. Right. They have, and that's an NXT thing. Huh. I know they had it was Money in the Bank that they moved to September because they kept saying that the winner had the winners actually, because you get a year or you get up to the next Money in the Bank, both winners had actually had 14 months rather than your normal 12 months to get it done.
So looking at the WrestleMania poster, we already know 4 guys that are going to be there: Roman, Cody, Brock, and Punk. I'm sure they're not going to change that.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're not having WrestleMania without Cody. And
right.
Heyman basically said Monday night that, look, there was always, before it was 2 nights, there was always 2 main events up until a special event occurred. It was the main event and it was the Undertaker match.
Right.
With the streak going. Once the streak went ahead and went away, so Heyman went ahead and did that type of stuff. So I don't know, man. It's
I mean, if they keep Seth Rollins under wraps until SummerSlam, that's going to be interesting because Seth, I know, brings in money for them, and with AJ being gone, Cena being gone, they're going to want him back as soon as they can, I would imagine.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. What are you doing with Gunther?
I don't know. Somebody put on Facebook Gunther quit the WWE. I'm sure it's not true, but
I mean,
they've been like pushing him. Like, who was it that they got thrown out Monday night? It was him and
Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. Are they going to have? I mean, they're not going to obviously retire Dragon Lee yet, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. So this is exactly what I was saying before. So why are you having the career killer could potentially be killing the wrong career. The career killer is the worst name that they could have given him because nobody is retiring anytime soon. So what are you going to have him do? Just do these little piddly ass fights? If you're the career killer, you go up against Dragon Lee. You beat Dragon Lee. You put him to sleep. You put him, just like you did Goldberg and Cena and Styles. You put him to sleep. He can't tap out. Boom.
Is it possible?
What are you doing then? Are you bringing Lee back? As soon as you bring Dragon Lee back in any way, shape, or form, you have gone ahead and killed the career killer moniker.
The only thing I can see is possibly having Dragon Lee win to kind of avenge Cena and AJ Styles being beat. And you can say, "Hey, I beat you because of that," but
you would have
the only ones that make sense would be Rey Mysterio. And I can't see him going against Rey Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio is retiring his father.
Yeah.
I cannot see how any other way that could go ahead and happen.
But do you think he does it as a face or as a heel? Or is he go in as a heel when he retires dad, like gives him a hug afterwards and turns face?
He goes out there as a heel. He wins as a heel. I don't know if the Judgment Day is still around, or I don't know, something along the lines. I don't know. But I think at what I would have thought, and if the Judgment Day was still together, that is when, like a JD and a Finn come in, and they, after the match, they keep beating the crap out of him, and Dom goes in and saves him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that happens because I don't know if, Judgment Day is going to be around long enough for that to happen.
When that happens. The only other one that would be even close to retirement would be Randy, and he's already stated that he's got a few more years in him.
Yeah, Randy's like, so there's nobody retiring anytime soon.
Or do you bring? I mean, God forbid, you bring Jericho and he takes Jericho out.
I mean, it's possible, but what do you do in between now and then?
Right.
So if you're going to do something along those lines, if that would have been the plan, and I don't know if Jericho has signed with the WWE.
No, according to them, he's like still technically signed with AEW. His contract was frozen, so he could take some time off. But who knows? Really, what's true? We don't know. We're not there. We're not looking at the contracts or whatever.
Right. Because that would have been the guy to try and avenge AJ.
Yes.
And say, yeah, you know what? You did that. You won't do that to me. I'm Chris freaking Jericho. I'm the first undisputed champ that there ever was.
Yep. I beat it. I won the triple threat match.
Yeah, I did all these things, and Gunther, you just made the list. So why don't you go ahead and try and take me out? And then boom, Jericho comes back. They have some interactions, and then he, fine, put your career. You want to put your career up? Okay, I will. Bang bang, boom, done. Retirement, you go. But the problem you have is you gave the guy,
you give him that name, but there's not enough people to retire to keep that name.
It has to go away, kind of like Randy Orton's Legend Killer went away.
Yeah.
It's slowly but surely they have to, they have to stop saying it. What they'll do is they'll stop saying it
for a while.
They won't refer to him to that anymore. Then it'll disappear from his, from his entrance, and he'll just be Gunther, the Ring General.
Now, in between, like you were saying, what do you do in the meantime? Do you have him go after the U.S. title, possibly?
Gunther?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's or Intercontinental. It's the only I can think of. It would be one of those two, just to kind of keep him active instead of just coming out and talking.
I mean, it is something that you can do. I don't know.
Because I can see down the road, if it ends up like Randy's ready, it'll be the match of the career killer versus the legend killer. That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be hyped as.
True.
But like I said, he's already stated in numerous different places that I've seen that he's got a couple more years in him. How, I don't know, but.
Well, because his matches aren't like,
True.
They're not, because his matches are nothing fantastic. That's why I don't think he wins Elimination Chamber.
No.
Because what are you going to, you would hope that the final match of the night at WrestleMania night 1 or night 2 is not a 7-minute match.
Right.
And I'm not saying Randy can't go more than 7 minutes, but I just don't know, what it's going to look like if he goes long into a match.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't, where they go with everything. I have no idea where they're going to go with stuff after this Saturday.
I mean, and it's funny. I mean, months ago, whatever it was, 6 months ago, or or not, not even, even more than that or stuff. We sat here and we talked about the stuff, and it was like, what do you think about that show? That's pretty predictable. What do you think about that show? It's pretty predictable. The one thing that with all these injuries and all stuff, there is some unpredictability to it. But the funny part is it's not really something that you're like, I'm not looking forward to, like, I want to watch the matches, but it's like, okay, you have these 6 guys at Elimination Chamber. There's already half of them that I don't want to, well, I shouldn't say, there's already, there's more than half. There's 60% that I don't want to see win.
Right.
So it might not be predictable, but it's like, I mean, you're given, I mean, the match of the night should be Finn against CM Punk.
Should be.
That should be the match of the night.
You think that's going to obviously be before Elimination Chamber? That's just a given because the men's Elimination Chamber is probably going to be the last thing on the card. Usually,
I would think it would be women's elimination. Women. I would think it would go women's elimination chamber, Becky, AJ, CM Punk, Finn, and then men's elimination chamber.
Yeah.
Because bam, boom, boom, everything's going off, and whoever won is doing the pointing to the WrestleMania sign.
Or do you do the AJ Becky first, then the women's, then CM Punk and Finn, and then the men's to kind of break the family up, as I say?
Yeah, I mean, I could see, that's true. I mean, either one of those two scenarios, I think. I'd be shocked. I honestly would be shocked if Punk, well, to be honest, hey, could Punk say to them, you know what? I know you're going to do the elimination chamber first. Last. Let me go first. My hometown. Let me go ahead and go out there first.
Pump the crowd up first.
Yeah.
For his match.
And then women's chamber, and then but I don't know, like the raising and the lowering of the chamber. Like, I don't remember what they did last year. Did we have? I don't know if we had something in between. Can't remember. But it was also long, and it wasn't also just 4 matches last
Yeah.
year.
What was there 4 last year? I think there was 5, but they did raise and lower the cage twice. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year it's like a toss-up of who wins. Besides for the Becky and CM Punk matches, it's up in the air who could win them. But
they only had 4 because they had the men's elimination chamber, they had the women's elimination chamber, they had the unsanctioned match of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah.
And then they had the Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus tag match against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Let's see something. Speaking of,
so I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
Okay. I was just looking up to see where Kevin Owens was at with his stuff, but he's still not. May have no idea when he'll be back. Although he was there for John Cena's thing, and he didn't have a neck brace or anything on, so who knows?
Well, he's been working out and stuff.
So that's going to be another one that returns at some point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd like to see LA Knight win it, though. I would. Give him a push that he deserves.
I agree. I think I think he and Randy can have a good match. I don't think it'll be spectacular.
Him and Drew might have a decent match, though.
I'm sorry, him and Drew. My bad. I don't know why.
I think it'll come down to either in the elimination, either him and Randy or him and Cody. Last 2.
Well, I don't know. I have a funny feeling that Evans or Trick Williams are going to be in like one of the last 3. They're going to be part. I don't think they're going to have those guys go out first. I think.
If any of them Trick sticks around, I think Evans might go out early. Just it's like you said, it's not a match for him. And then you have Jay go out, And that leaves you those guys in there.
True.
And then you either have Cody. Cody would have to be the next one, which with the way the TKO is on him, like you say, QB1, I would not be surprised if he did end up winning it somehow. I just hope it's LA Knight.
I think it could easily be. Again, in my opinion, I just look at it from the standpoint of what they could do, from a standpoint of actually, having the matches, looking at them and forward thinking of saying, okay, look, we just had Cody go through this stuff. Does he win to get that shot? Or is it too soon to have him win to get that shot?
Right.
That's the part that's the piece for me of the whole Cody thing, of what I could see them having a difference of opinion between those two. Is it too soon after what we just put him through and stuff like that? But then, hey, you know what? When I lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, I knew I had to win the chamber to go ahead and get back. Win the Rumble, and I did, right? And then all this kind of crap. I knew I had to win the Rumble. It was gonna be my only shot to get at Drew, so I did. That kind of makes sense. That type of thing. I just don't know if they want. I just I just don't know if a Cody Drew is worth it, unless do you have to do that? Do you have to do that? Do you have to have him and Randy in some way, shape, or form? So this way you can, for lack of better words, drag Trick Williams along down the road, get him some more matches to where he's been there at least more than just for a cup of coffee. He's been there for a while. You know what I'm saying? And then go ahead and throw him, against Drew. But I don't think, to me, an Evans, a Trick Williams, an Obafemi. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see a belt on any of them in 2026. I think it's too soon. It's just my opinion.
I think if you do see any belt, it's going to be one of the mid-level, but it had to be on.
Well, yeah. To me, I don't want to see any championship belts. On those guys. I just don't think it would. I don't think it would be, would be good for for the business as a whole. I don't know what it brings. Again, if you tell me, hey, the plan for Obafemi is to have that Goldberg-esque run where for the next year he's not losing a match and he's going to remain champion for that long. But that means he's going to have to beat some of your favorites. He's going to have to beat Cody Rhodes. He's going to have to beat Randy Orton. He's going to have to beat
like you said,
McIntyre.
With Goldberg, he went that stretch before he won the title. Do you have him like Oba do the same thing? Like he starts with, say he beats Brock Lesnar at Mania. He's the one that steps up. He beats Brock because it doesn't hurt Brock any. It helps him. Beating the Beast would help Oba.
Yep.
And then you'd have to move on to like a Gunther or a Drew McIntyre. Drew still doesn't have the belt anymore. The bigger guys that, you'd want him to go up against. And maybe next year at Mania, he has his shot at a title.
Possible. I don't know anymore. Again, that's the one thing, like I said, it's weird, complain so much about shit being predictable. And now they're not going to do that, and here's why. Bang, and you would be able to call if it was 6 matches on a night, you get 5 of them right.
Say Bronson doesn't get hurt. Do you think he wins Elimination Chamber? If he doesn't get hurt, do you think that was the plan?
Hmm. I
I
don't
think it's
think
too early
so.
for him still.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would have had him dominate. Um, I don't think they would because again, it's the whole thing of the SmackDown and the Raw stuff. Okay, so if Bronson's gonna win and you're moving him to SmackDown, I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying, is that what you want to do? Do you want to move that guy to SmackDown and then bring the whole vision? I mean, but then if you bring the whole vision, I guess Paul Heyman doesn't care. He could be, unless Paul Heyman wants to travel that much, because obviously now it looks like he's back to being the advocate for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, would he go or would he, you know, just stay there?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around, what they are trying to do with these guys.
I don't think they even know really.
No, I think these injuries have really thrown, I mean, Aleister Black, what are they doing with him? Damian Priest, what are you doing with him? Rusev, what are you doing with him? I mean, you look at what they've gone ahead and they made a big deal of, man, all this talent. We're bringing Rusev back. We're bringing Aleister Black back, and we're bringing these guys back, and and man, we're doing these things, and what are you doing with them? Are you going to have Aleister again? It goes back to me. WrestleMania is the big one. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the whole Aleister Black, Damian Priest thing that wasn't worth anything.
Nope. And now you're going to try something with Randy Orton. That doesn't make sense.
You well, I mean,
Why you brought Rusev back just makes no sense. They just said, whatever.
yeah.
Because that was just a waste. And you're going to have Sheamus probably coming back here eventually. So there's another one.
Yeah. I mean, look, Rusev. Rusev, the Bulgarian brute, man. He's beating everybody up, and then what?
Where's he at?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I want to fight Oba.
Right. That's what my thing. He's So here we are. You have Rusev, who's going to be a jobber for Obafemi.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't. I just don't understand what they're doing, and I guess that's what maybe that's what we need to you know maybe that's what we just need to expect from now on. That this whole thing. To me, they don't long term story tell. They reverse engineer.
Yeah.
They reverse engineer shit backwards, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you remember when, when so and so did this, 7 years ago. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And people, see, look at that. That's long term storytelling. No, it isn't. That's called reverse
No,
engineering. That's watching a rerun and go, oh shit, we could use this.
Yeah. Oh, they did this 10 years ago? Yeah, let's just rehash it.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. I just don't see what they're going to do. It's going to be interesting to see what happens Friday night or Saturday night. Friday night, like I said, I don't expect to be super eventful.
Yeah, I don't.
You'll probably have Cody there. Probably Jay. Who knows? I mean, I just don't see anything happening really.
I agree.
Because it's kind of already set for Saturday. What else you're trying to add a match? Make 5 matches? I doubt that.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It would have to be just trying to build a storyline for the next couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, maybe if they want to try something, but I don't. Yeah. I don't really see. I think where we're at is where we're going to be. It starts at 7 o'clock. It'll be done by 10, probably. Maybe they push a little bit, but I can't see how. They would really. The chamber's not like war games where it doesn't start until everybody's in there, right? I don't think it is.
No, they have what? There's 6 people. You have 5 pods, and then there are no 4 pods that don't are opened afterwards because you have to have 2 start. It doesn't make sense if you don't. And then the others come in later.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like war games where war games doesn't officially start until the last person.
No. As soon as you get the guys that get into the pods, the 4 guys get in the pods, and the other 2 that come out automatically. It starts right as soon as they get in the ring. So
right. So
beyond that, this big surprise for me was like I text you that they put AJ in before John Cena, which really kind of threw me off. Unless John Cena is going to be a surprise entrant this year, I was just like, wow, you're going to put him in already?
Or unless the Prince has requested that John wait until 2027 so he could be announced, he can have the Hall of Fame thing at in Saudi Arabia.
Beyond, yeah, it's possible.
Which would suck. To me, I hope I know they're gonna do that, but I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would be like, hey, you know what? We're gonna do it in Las Vegas, but you can't because then you won't have any of the wrestlers that are in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Because you can't finish up in Vegas and jump on a plane to be able to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you'd be jet lag.
Especially when you figure that the time difference.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the inductees will be his little partners. The OC, forget their names, but
I don't know. It's yeah. It can't be Shinsuke.
Could be Finn, but I don't think so.
Finn would be one that I would think of. I don't know. Would they bring someone who's not associated with the WWE to do it though?
Well, aren't his guys in TNA right now, or are they somewhere else, or not even wrestling?
No, they've been let go. The Good Brothers, I think, are on. I think they're with like I don't know. I think they're like maybe with Major League Wrestling, and maybe Major League Wrestling would allow them, but I don't think they are. I don't think they're with AEW. I don't think they're with NXT. I know they're not with NXT. I don't think they're with AEW.
The only other one that would possibly make sense would be Abyss, because they started out together and all that. That would kind of make sense too.
But it could be Kurt Angle.
Could be.
I
don't know. Something tells me it's going to be those 2 guys, though. I don't know why, but
yeah, it'll be good.
I'm pretty sure Triple H is going to induct Stephanie. It's the only one that makes sense there.
Well, it's not going to be her father or her brother.
Well, it could be her brother. That's a possibility, but I think it'd be Triple H's wife or his husband, her husband, whatever you want to call him, because he has no balls anymore. But and I forget who else is going in. Those are the only 2 I can think of.
He did announce somebody else.
I can't even think of who it is. I'm sure it's a retired person. I'm sure. I'm surprised they have not put The Rock in yet. I really am. He's one that should be in there.
Oh no! So far, it is just Stephanie McMahon and AJ Styles.
So I guess in March we're gonna get, I think 4 more. There's usually 6, I think, that go in.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Yep. And they'll probably do a couple of
the old guys
old timers.
that haven't made it in yet, which I don't know any of them, but who haven't made it in.
I mean, you don't have a headliner yet. I mean, unless maybe it is going to be Cena. They're just waiting. But if Undertaker's the guy that is
Kind of revealing all that.
kind of revealing it, I guess if we see Undertaker show up, at John Cena's house. Hey, John, we got unfinished business.
I don't know. Anyway, it's been over 2.5 hours this time. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how many people hung with us, but we
It went
appreciate
quick. That was a quick 2.5, bro.
I did. I just looked up and like, wow, 2.5 hours already. And we could go talking all night long, but we both have jobs, so
Yeah.
Did you go to your house already?
Did not.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear. So there is a possibility next week. May have to go to Tuesday, but I won't know until Friday or Saturday, which is plenty of time. As soon as I know, I'll get it out there.
No problem, brother. Just let me know. I'm all good
Sir.
with that. Thank you all for being here. Whoever's still here.
Yes, thanks a lot. I was
Okay,
all
we love you, Dom.
Yeah, we love you, Dommy. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Yep. Stay safe.
Yep. Treat everybody the way you like to be
You're
treated.
going to be treated. That's right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
You got it. Later, folks.